Why do some people work for money while others make money work for them? The answer might change your life. Welcome back to Smart Money Summaries, where we break down the world's most influential finance books, personalities, and more. No hype, just the facts. Today, we're diving into Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, a book that's inspired millions to rethink how they manage money. But is it all good advice? Regardless of whether you agree or disagree with Robert's philosophy, it certainly is a book I wish I had read earlier on in my career and in my approach to building wealth. We'll cover the key lessons, what works, what doesn't, and what you should really take away. Rich Dad, Poor Dad contrasts the financial philosophies of Kiyosaki's two father figures. His biological father, the poor dad, who valued education and job security, and his best friend's father, the rich dad, who focused on building assets and financial independence. The core message? Financial education and mindset matter more than your salary. But let's see how that plays out in real life. This is hard to egg with, but let's get specific. Kiyosaki says, the rich focus on cash flow while the poor and middle class focus on income statements. It's not about your net worth or your salary, it's about how much money flows into your pocket each month. Real-world example. Think about someone who owns $1 million home but has no other investments. They might look rich but could be house poor, struggling with mortgage payments and bills. Now, consider a small-time landlord who owns 3 modest rental properties. Each property brings in $800 a month after expenses, totaling $2,400 in monthly cash flow. Even if their net worth is lower, their steady income means more financial freedom. Takeaway: focus on assets that generate regular cash flow, not just assets that look good on paper. Kiyosaki's definition is simple. Assets. Put money in your pocket. Think. Stocks, rental properties, businesses. Liabilities. Take money out. Think. Your car, your home's mortgage, credit card debt. Real-world example. A small business owner invests in a vending machine route. Each machine generates $50 to $100 per month after restocking costs. That's an asset. Contrast that with buying a new car on credit. The car loses value every year and requires insurance, maintenance, and loan payments. That's a liability. Takeaway: before you buy, ask, will this put money in my pocket or take it out? Passive income is the holy grail money that comes in with little ongoing effort. Real-world example. Rental properties. A couple in Texas buys a duplex. They live in one unit and rent out the other. The rent covers the mortgage, and over time, the property appreciates in value. Dividend stocks. Someone invests $20,000 in blue-chip stocks that pay 4% dividends, earning $800 a year without selling any shares. Royalties. An author self-publishes an ebook on Amazon. Every month, they receive royalty payments, even years after writing it. Takeaway: gradually build up streams of passive income to reduce reliance on your job. Here's a controversial one. Kiyosaki claims your home is a liability, not an asset, unless it generates income. Real-world example. Opportunity cost. Someone ties up $100,000 in home equity. If that money were invested in a rental property or index funds, it could generate $400 to $700 per month in income. House hacking. Some homeowners rent out a basement or spare room on Airbnb. Suddenly, their home starts generating income and becomes more of an asset. Takeaway: a home is shelter and comfort, but don't mistake it for an investment unless it pays you back. Kiyosaki says, money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Why do so many lottery winners go broke? Why do some doctors and lawyers live paycheck to paycheck? It's often a lack of financial education. Real-world example. Lottery winners. Studies show a large percentage of lottery winners file for bankruptcy within a few years. Professional athletes. Many earn millions but retire broke due to poor money management. Takeaway: invest in learning about accounting, investing, taxes, and markets. Start small, keep learning, and don't be afraid to ask for help. The rich buy assets, the poor spend on expenses. The middle class often buy liabilities they think are assets. Real-world example. Reinvesting profits. A young investor uses dividends from stocks to buy more shares, compounding their returns over time. Diversification. An entrepreneur uses profits from a side business to invest in real estate and an index fund, spreading risk. Takeaway. Let your assets generate income, then use that income to buy more assets. Not all debt is bad. Good debt helps you acquire assets that generate income. Bad debt funds consumption. Real-world example. Good debt. A real estate investor uses a mortgage to buy a rental property. The rent covers the loan payments and leaves extra cash each month. Bad debt. Using a credit card to buy a new TV that loses value and doesn't generate income. Takeaway. Use debt strategically, always ensuring your returns exceed your borrowing costs. The wealthy often pay a lower effective tax rate by using legal strategies. Real-world example. Long-term investments. Holding stocks for over a year to benefit from lower capital gains tax rates. Business deductions. A freelancer deducts a portion of their home office, internet, and travel expenses, reducing their taxable income. Takeaway. Learn the basics of tax law and always consult a professional to stay compliant. Corporations offer benefits like limited liability, tax advantages, and easier ownership transfers. Real-world example. LLC for rentals. A landlord holds rental properties in an LLC, protecting personal assets from lawsuits. S-Corp for a side business. A consultant forms an S-Corp, potentially reducing self-employment taxes. Takeaway. Choose the right structure for your situation and get professional advice. Financial intelligence is about having more options and making smart decisions. Real-world example. Spotting trends. Investors who noticed the rise of e-commerce in the early 2000s and invested in companies like Amazon saw massive returns. Calculated risks. Entrepreneurs who test new business ideas with small investments, learning from both successes and failures. Takeaway: keep learning, stay curious, and don't be afraid to try new things on a small scale. While Rich Dad Poor Dad is hugely influential, it's not without criticism. Lack of specifics. The book is big on mindset, but light on actionable step-by-step advice. For example, it doesn't teach you how to analyze a rental property or pick stocks. Oversimplification. Not all assets are safe, and not all debt is good. Real estate can lose value, and leverage can backfire. It can also be extremely expensive to get started in real estate and may feel out of reach for many readers. Home ownership. Debate. Many experts argue that owning a home can be a solid investment, especially in markets with rising property values or for those who stay put for decades. Anecdotal evidence. Much of the book relies on personal stories rather than hard data or peer-reviewed research. Potential for overconfidence. Encouraging people to take on debt or start businesses without enough knowledge can lead to financial trouble. So, what should you really take away from Rich Dad Poor Dad? What's good? It challenges traditional thinking about money and work. It encourages financial education and a focus on building assets. It inspires readers to seek financial independence and think like entrepreneurs. What to watch out for? The advice is broad. Don't expect a step-by-step plan. Not every strategy fits every person or market. Taking on debt or investing without research and caution can be risky. Final thought. Use Rich Dad Poor Dad as a mindset shift and a starting point for your financial journey. But always do your own research, seek expert advice, and make decisions based on your own goals and risk tolerance. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe for more honest book summaries, and let us know in the comments. What's one lesson or criticism from Rich Dad Poor Dad that stands out to you? See you next time.